Scamp learns a lesson. One evening, Lady and the Tramp and their puppies were lying in front of the fire. Their people, Darling and Jim, were sitting nearby on the sofa. Everything was quiet and peaceful. But with a puppy named Scamp in the house, things would not be quiet for long. Jim stood up and stretched. "I need some air," he said. "Who wants to take a walk?" Only Lady wanted to go. She ran and got a leash. "See you in a while," said Jim. "Tramp, you take care of the house." Lady tugged at her leash and led Jim outdoors. The puppies gathered around Tramp. "Tell us a story," they begged. "Tell us about the good old days," said Scamp. "Ah, the good old days," said Tramp. "That was before I settled down with your mother to raise a family. I used to run around town with my good friends, Trusty and Jock," said Tramp. "We went where we pleased. We always ate at the best restaurants and the ones with backdoor service. What a feast we had. The dog catcher used to chase us, but we could outsmart him any day. Only careless dogs got caught and taken to the dog pound. On sunny days, we went to the zoo and said hello to the animals there. Sometimes a man gave us ice cream. We ended every evening in the park, sitting, singing to the moon. Ah, that was the life." Tramp talked until Lady came back with Jim. "Oh, Tramp," said Lady, "you've been telling your stories again. You will give the children ideas." "It's time for bed, children," said Lady. "Come along now." Soon, everyone was asleep. Everyone except Scamp. He kept thinking about Tramp's stories. He wished he could run around town too. The next morning, Aunt Sarah came to take the puppies for a walk in the park. Scamp was not happy to see Aunt Sarah. Walking with Aunt Sarah was always so boring. "Good morning, Scamp," said Aunt Sarah. "How are you today?" thought Scamp. "Now hold still," said Aunt Sarah. She put a leash on Scamp's collar. Scamp scrolled. Off went Aunt Sarah with the puppies. The puppies had to stay on the leash. They had to do what Aunt Sarah said. "Whew," thought Scamp. "I want to run around town like Tramp." Aunt Sarah sat down on a park bench. After a while, she dozed off. "Here's my chance," thought Scamp, and he tiptoed away. Then he raced out of the park. Scamp ran through the street after street. He felt so happy and bold that he ran right in front of the dog catcher. "Only careless dogs get caught," said Scamp. He raced off. Suddenly, Scamp was jerked to a stop. His leash had caught a fire plug. Scamp pulled and pulled on the leash. He pulled so hard that his collar popped off. Some wonderful new smell reached Scamp. "It must be the zoo," he said. He trotted across the street. "No dogs are allowed in the zoo. But Scamp didn't know that. He walked right in. The gatekeeper was busy and didn't see him. Scamp barked hello to the lion family. The lions roared back. Scamp barked hello to the monkeys. The monkeys chattered and laughed. What fun the zoo was. No one gave Scamp any ice cream, but the elephant gave him a bath. My, the animals are noisy today, said the gatekeeper. Then he spotted Scamp. How did that dog get in here? He wondered. Here, doggy, nice doggy, said the gatekeeper. Scamp ran happily to the man. The gatekeeper called over a policeman. This little dog is lost, the gatekeeper said, and he has no collar. Then he belongs to the dog pound, said the policeman. Give him to me. And before Scamp knew it, he was locked in the dog catcher's cart. Off he went to the pound. Back home, Aunt Sarah was saying, I looked all over the park for Scamp, but I couldn't find him anywhere. Oh dear, said Darling. He's such a little dog. I hope he's all right. Everyone was very worried. Where could that rascal be? Said Tramp. You should know, said Lady. You told him all those stories. Scamp could be anywhere, said Tramp. I guess I better look for him. Tramp sat up and barked loudly at Jim. You want to find Scamp? Don't you? Said Jim. Let's go. Tramp led the way, sniffing Scamp's trail. Tramp followed his nose. Tramp found Scamp's collar and leash. Good boy, said Jim. You're on the right track. Scamp's trail led right to the zoo. Scamp was not surprised. The zoo was about to close. Wait, please, said Jim. Have you seen a little lost dog? Why, yes, said the gatekeeper. I found a cute little Scamp with no collar. He's down at the dog pound now. Thanks, said Jim, and he hailed a taxi. Jim and Tramp rode to the dog pound. Will they ever see Scamp again? The little puppy had no collar. Nobody knew his name and address. Anyone could want a pet, could take him home. A brown puppy with no collar, said the clerk at the dog pound. I will have to check the book. We have a lot of dogs in the pound today. But Tramp knew Scamp was there. He could hear the puppy barking. The clerk opened the door to the dog pens, and Tramp ran right to his son. He was so happy to see Scamp, and Scamp was very happy to see his father. Jim paid a fine to free Scamp, and he took the dogs home in a taxi. Look what we found, called Jim. Lady was not surprised when he heard what had happened. Oh, those stories of yours, she said to Tramp. Lady gave Scamp a scolding. Jim gave Scamp a scolding too. No more running off, he said. You were very lucky this time. And he put Scamp's collar back on. I hope you've learned your lesson, said Tramp. Running around town is not for little dogs. I'm sorry, said Scamp in a small voice, but he couldn't wait till he got big. The end.